Hey guys, what's up? So many of the serious aspirants are always asking that how can we crack interview? What are the tips and tricks? Unfortunately, not much content is available for interview cracking, and most of the videos on YouTube have stupid questions which they never asked in the interview. And like this is for the masses, but this course is for serious aspirants who really want to crack interview, and I will cover all the nuances here. So this is the lesson 1 of the course, how to crack civil service exam interview, and these points are very much valid to other UPSC exams as well, so don't worry. So first of all, we'll need to understand why is the interview or like personality test or so-called interview is very important for cracking the civil service examination. So this is the first and the foremost thing which will come in the head of anyone, that why do we need to prepare for interview in the first place, and which I agree 100%, I'll agree with you. So why do we need to prepare for interview? So let us see. So basically interview is the final hurdle in your journey to become an IAS officer. So this is the most important point. It is the final hurdle. Once you have cracked the interview and you have got decent marks, and if you have decent marks in mains, there is nobody who is going to stop you, and you can fulfill your long cherished dream of serving the country. That is why you have been ghisao yourself for last 3 years. But if you do not perform well here, you will have to go through the same cycle of prelims, mains and interview all over again. This is the one by far the most torturous thing I know on this planet Earth. If somebody wants to like really get tortured, they should like give 4 or 5 attempts of CSE, and every time you should give interview and should not be selected. That is the worst torture ever. So many people, they perform very well in the mains, I have seen, and this is a personal experience also, and they will get good score, but still they do not get selected because they get below average marks in interview. Like I also had very average marks in interview, so I will tell you that like I had a good score in GS and essay, that is why I got selected. I had an average score in optional and I had an average score in interview. But if I would have gotten below average marks in interview, then I would not have gotten 18th rank. It would be 50, 60, 70, or God knows even not in top 100. So nobody knows for sure where I would be. So don't be in this particular category. Try to get at least average or above average marks in interview. Now a lot of things depends on the luck, depends on the board's mood, but still average marks everybody can get. Everybody can get average marks. But there are some boards which gives like 110 or 210. They don't give average marks. There are some stupid boards like that also. But unfortunately you can't do anything, right? Human biases are always there. Humans are not machines. So some people have mains score way above than the top 100 rankers, but they are themselves not in the top 100 ranks. Now you will ask me what is the reason for that. It is the reason because they have very poor marks in their interview and their rank will shift to the bottom half, and they might not even get IAS, IPS, IRS or IFS. They might get some other services which I will not name here, but people hate those services. Everybody, let's not use everybody, 99% of the aspirants prepare for either getting administrative service, police service, foreign service, or at max revenue service. These are the 99% aspirants first choice. So any other service if you get, it means you are getting a second choice service. So either you have to choose that service and live 35-40 years of your life in that service, wondering what if I have prepared for interview well, or you will end up going through the same exam cycle again, prelims, mains, interview. It is so disgusting, I tell you. And it is again not guaranteed that if you would get selected or improve your rank next year, because many already selected people, and I will like give you 100 examples of that, but I don't want to belittle those people. But many already selected people, those who have got 97 rank, 102 rank, they also flunk the prelims very next time, because it is every year the current affairs change. You have to like revise, you have to be on your feet, you have to be on your toes, and it is very painful to see that thing happening. Now you will need to know the marks. So interview basically it carries 275 marks out of 2025. So that is not a insignificant percentage, and many people, this is like almost 13.5%. 13.5% is a huge amount. Okay, many people, they prepare for geography, they prepare for world history, they prepare for Indian history, they prepare for art and culture, and it might take you 6 months or maybe more to prepare for these topics. Do you know how many marks does it carry in the mains? 250 marks. But interview you will not even give 6 days and it carries more marks than these combined. Many people prepare for science, technology, cyber security, disaster management, economy, current affairs, general science, all this thing, do you know how much marks it carry in the mains? 250. And they give like 2-3 months to that. Interview preparation also should be very very serious, because it is more than the marks of any subject. And if you research properly, if you analyze previous statistics, you will find out that not too many candidates managed to score above 154. I barely got 154. Okay, score above 150. Sorry, I have a bias to say 154 every time I see interview score. So contrary to this myth, it's easy to score in the interview, which I realized afterwards. But obviously, retrospect and hindsight, everything is good. Without much preparation, you can score 150 plus. And there are an astounding number of double digit scores in the interview. You will find them. Okay, 95, 96, even some low 3-digit number, 105, 110, etc. Now, many people, many aspirants do not take interview seriously, and they start preparing only after the announcement of the mains exam result. So the mains usually is held in October these days. Result will come around Jan and Feb beginning. So it's how many months? Entire November, entire December, entire January. 3 months are gone. And in this valuable time, you have lost the opportunity to prepare very, very thoroughly. So these people, they keep on procrastinating, they party around, they relax after exhausting their energy in mains. You can relax for 1 week, 2 weeks, maximum 15 days, right? After that, you should start preparing for prelims, mains, and interview again. And they do not get enough time to do research work, prepare well for the interview, and they botch it up big time, and then they will blame it on the board. Yes, you can blame it on the board, but at least prepare first, right? If you don't prepare well, then you should not blame it on the board. What if you got the best board and still you got average marks? Then you will curse yourself for the rest of your life. So don't blame the luck for the fiasco. First prepare it well. Now, preparation of interview involves uplifting the confidence level, knowing the fact that you know everything, fix the body language, give mock tests, improve knowledge about current events. Mock test here means mock interview. It requires minute research on your DAF, detailed application form, so that you are mentally prepared for expected and unexpected questions. And this preparation will need a lot of time. So do the essential groundwork so that your confidence is boosted, and everybody can see if your confidence is boosted. It will be reflected in your interview marks. Now this interview is also called as personality test. So your personality is being tested, not your knowledge. But overall, do have knowledge. Okay, if you don't answer 10 questions in a row, then you are gone. Okay, so basic knowledge has to be tested. If they ask you basic things, you should know them. Just remember, personality cannot be developed in a single day or month, but yes, you can fake it if you prepare it for 2-3 months. So you should take interview very very seriously. Don't take it casually. Okay, at least study for 1 month properly, and next few lessons will deal with the aspects of interview. And keep watching. So thank you for watching this lesson. I hope it is helping you. Have an awesome day. Hi guys, what's up? How are you doing? So we are continuing with the course of how to crack civil service exam interview, and many people don't have enough content, so that's why I'm making this course. And in this, we will discuss with basics of interview. Okay, what is interview and how we can prepare for it. So what better thing to start with the UPSC 2017 notification. 2018 notification is not yet out, so I can't prepare for that, but at least 2017 notification is out. So let us see. So what is written in the notification? You have to analyze each and every word, and if you are too bored to analyze each and every word, at least analyze the bold words or highlighted words. So candidate basically will be interviewed by a board who will have before them a record of his or her career. How do they know the record of your career? Basically, you fill it in the DAF, and you will be asked questions on matters of general interest. Nobody knows what is this general interest, but it is assumed that whatever people talk about, polity, history, geography, GS basically. Object of the interview is to assess the personal suitability of the candidate for a career in public service. So these board of competent and unbiased observers, I will say they are definitely unbiased, but let's say the board member do puja for 3 hours a day, and a person like Jawaharlal Nehru goes there who is completely atheist. So obviously the bias will go out of the window, and marks will be less as compared to other person who also talks about religion, God, theistic religion, polytheistic. So obviously there is a huge variation. Some scientific person is sitting, and then a person says that science, I don't believe in science, I don't know anything about science. So obviously biases are there. It is absolutely wrong that nobody can be unbiased in this entire world except if he or she is machine. Now but eventually that we have to assume they are unbiased. So test is intended to judge the mental caliber of the candidate, and in broad terms, what they are assessing? They are assessing your intellectual qualities. Sure, they are assessing intellectual qualities, but not only intellectual qualities, but also social traits and your interest in current affairs. Because as a bureaucrat, you should be aware about what is happening. That is a separate thing. Once you get selected, nobody is going to read the Hindu at all. Now, some of the qualities which are to be judged includes mental alertness, critical power of assimilation. Basically, it means that whether you can assimilate information, collate it, reproduce it, vomit it out or not. Then clear and logical exposition, balance of judgment. Basically, this is very important. Okay, should not favor. Let's say they ask you, is the reservation wrong? Is the riots because of one particular community? You should always have a balanced judgment, because you never know what is their mindset. And anyway, you are going to become a civil servant, you have to have balanced judgment. Then variety and depth of interest, ability for social cohesion, because at the end of the day you will be working with people. Leadership, intellectual, moral integrity, all these are important. Then the technique of the interview is not that of a strict cross examination, but it is of a natural, thought directed and purposive conversation. Okay, again I'll repeat, the technique of the interview is not of a strict cross examination as it will happen, but it will be a conversation they try to have. This I will agree, they actually try to have a conversation with you. So it is a natural, thought directed and purposive conversation, not random conversation. So it tries to reveal the mental quality of the candidate, but I think it's very subjective. One of the committee recommended that each and every interview board should interview, and then the average mark should be given. I really loved that committee's recommendation, but nobody implemented it. I don't know why. Maybe because it is impractical. So interview test is not intended to be a test either of the specialized or general knowledge of the candidate, because it has already been tested. So please remember, वहाँ पे knowledge नहीं झाड़नी है. You don't have to show off your knowledge over there, because it has already been tested through so many papers: paper 1, paper 2, GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4, essay, English, Hindi, optional. So candidates are just expected to have an intelligent interest, not only in their graduation subject, but also in the events which are happening around them. And both, it has to be within inside and outside state, country, as well as in the world affairs, as well as in the modern currents of thought and new discoveries which should rouse the curiosity of well-educated youth. I don't know even 1% of India is like this, but apparently they say that everyone is like this. I don't think so, even 1% India is like this. Then as suggested in the notification, they have, वो मतलब बोल के थक चुके हैं, they are like literally tired after saying so many times that interview is not a test of knowledge, but trust me, it is a test of knowledge. If you are not able to speak about current affairs, then it is a knowledge, right? If you don't answer 7 questions back to back on current affairs, they will think that you don't have interest in current affairs. What does it mean? It means that you don't have knowledge in current affairs, basically. If you don't answer 2 questions out of 5, that is fine, absolutely fine. But if you don't answer any question, then you are gone. They ask you which district are you, okay, then ask you tell me something special about your district, and you say I don't know. That looks very bad. Okay, so they do test knowledge, but not that much. But it is rather a test of overall personality and suitability of the candidate, but they do test knowledge, don't forget that. And along with good communication skills, self-confidence, good knowledge base will give you an upper hand. But just remember, everybody has knowledge. Don't show off your knowledge. जितना आता है, जितना पूछा है उतना बता दो, जितना आता है उतना मत बताओ. So it means that tell what you have been asked to, not what you know. And interview is not intended to be a test of the specialized or general knowledge. Let me be very, very clear. And this has already been tested in prelims and mains. It is more of a psychological test conducted, because it's a high pressure situation. You are wearing random clothes, okay, which you usually do not wear, and it is a high pressure situation. You are sitting in, like I was sitting in front of ex-director of CBI. So it was not that easy for me, and it will help you to find out actually who you are. So notice the qualities which are desired by the UPSC. Try to be alert there, don't sleep off. Then try to have assimilative powers. Basically what they are trying to say, try to grasp in totality. Okay, let them finish. Then try to have clear and logical exposition. Basically whatever you say should make sense to everybody. Then you should have balance of judgment, don't rush to take sides. Then variety and depth of interest is something that is required. Then ability for social cohesion and leadership is also needed. And finally, intellectual and moral integrity. At the end of the day, don't say anything unethical. Like if they ask you why are you want to become an IAS, don't say that I want dowry of 2 crore rupees. Okay, you will be kicked out. So also notice that it tests your interest in special subjects of academic study or graduation subject, current events within and outside the state and the country. It means international affairs are also covered. Then modern currents of thought, whatever people are discussing these days, new discoveries apparently which will be make you more curious, which should make everyone more curious. Then it is also not a strict cross examination or a question answer session, because the board members are most of the times are just like friendly elders looking for different aspects of your personality. And keep in mind, one is not expected to know 100% of the questions. It is okay that you do not know the answer of a particular question, but say it confidently. Okay, don't start guessing. If you want to guess, just say let me guess. Do not get into interview room with any preconceived notion that this board is strict or lenient. Luck will does play a great role. Okay, but these things will happen, but you don't have to assume it. For example, in cricket you can get out on any ball, but you don't go it like that. Okay, and we'll discuss this in the next lesson. Thank you. Hey guys, what's up? So let us discuss the lesson number 3 in how to crack civil service examination interview, and this is a comprehensive half an hour course. So if you watch it properly, you will be able to crack it, at least get 10 plus 10 20 marks extra. So these are some general tips which you need to understand before you go about interview preparation. So first thing is, like, at least you can take a 10-15 days break, but then start preparing for an interview as soon as the main exam phase is over. It includes a 10 to 15 day break. Okay, don't start studying from the next day. Take at least 10-day break, because you might not get enough time later. Don't take 3 months break. Okay, because you might not get enough time later, and consequently you would never want to start all over again after you have reached so close, so close to your dream job or destination or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so don't do that, don't take that chance. So try to buy a small diary, and whatever research work you are doing, you can basically log into that completely. You can log into that. So keep all the time, and whenever you get free time or take break, go through this diary, because this diary will be with you all the time. So if you are doing anything at all, so try to write it down. For example, if you are researching about your district, if you are researching about your name, if you are researching about anything at all, so basically you can just go through it. And whenever you get free time or take break from regular studies, try to go through it. If you are traveling somewhere, you can just go through this. That is more than enough. Then start with your detailed application form and keep a photocopy of it very very handy. So again, that is important, because this photocopy will have everything which you need to. That is the only thing that they know about you, right? They don't know about your past or what you have done, but they do know about your academic achievements or whatever you have chose to share with them, your hobbies, your college, your school, your parents, their occupation, everything. So most of the initial questions, like typical questions, meaning of your name, let's say in my case Roman, what is the name of the Roman, why are you named Roman, with your educational background, you have done MBBS, what is AIMS, when it was it established, where it is, government is trying to establish more AIMS. So basically anything related to your educational background, anything related to your college. If you have worked somewhere, then they are going to shoot 1 or 2 questions on your professional experience. If you are already an IPS officer or IRS officer, then what was your journey like, why do you want to change the services, hobbies, what are you playing guitar, everything. Basically they come from the DAF itself, and this will be based on this form only. So they have this detailed application form, you have to fill this online, and this is present with each and every member of the board. Usually there are 5 members in the board, 1 is chairman, 4 are like members taken from academia. Then try preparing your biodata. Try to analyze every aspect of a DAP form. First of all, before you fill your DAP form, please fill it carefully, because your entire life, if you get selected, depends on it. Literally your service preference, your now the cadre change policy is also announced, so your cadre also, everything is depending on this. So try to analyze every aspect of your detailed application form and try to derive 150 possible questions out of it. Just like you write an essay, you break down essay into various questions and then you try to answer them in 150 words. Similarly, here in detailed application form, you can do it, and you can take the help of your close friends, or but friends usually don't help. You should do a professional mock test, that will really help. Then specially prepare the hobbies and interests which you have mentioned in your detailed application form, and it is a must if you have some not so common hobby. Let's say you write bird watching as a hobby, so not many people have bird watching as a hobby, so they can ask you what is the study of birds called. Ornithology, who's the father of ornithology. Okay, why do the birds migrate, how do they know the distance, how they can travel for 6,000 kilometers. Okay, so all these things then become important. So if you have not so common hobby, then they will definitely ask. If you write, let's say, playing tanpura or playing sitar, then for sure you are going to be bombarded with questions. Okay, there is no doubt about it. So try to like remember everything, otherwise you will be in big trouble later on. You need to look for each and every minor detail related to it, otherwise you will be in a big trouble. Now do the same research work about your hometown and state. For example, I come from Jaipur, Rajasthan, and lived for 7 years in Delhi. So in my case, both becomes important. Okay, I should know everything about Delhi also. I should know about everything about Jaipur, Rajasthan also. So Jaipur is different, Rajasthan is different. So you have to prepare both of them separately. Try to know historical, cultural, economic, geographic, and various similar significance of these places where you have lived. Now various social issues, agricultural trend, tourism potential. So in Rajasthan everything is there. Susceptibility to natural disaster, and see the mains syllabus and see what kind of questions they can ask. Basically try to apply all the questions on your hometown and state and try to find out these answers. Now for every issue which is related to your hometown or state, you must have some handy suggestions. Let's say you become district magistrate of your hometown, what will you do in the aftermath of tsunami? Let's say if you are living in Odisha, or if you're drought, let's say you're living in Gujarat, Rajasthan, they have droughts. Then structural and non-structural measures to tackle it. So very thorough, do the scrutiny of every issue which is will be needed, especially disaster management if it is happening in your particular city or town. Then it will be even better that while preparing for your mains syllabus, you keep in mind the interview aspect too and prepare both of them simultaneously. So when you are reading the status of women in India and social issues of GS paper 1, try to find out the status of women in your state or hometown, because that is the next logical question they are going to ask in your mains exam, and this way you will have an early start and an edge over the other interview candidates. So try to prepare, but still you will have a lot of time, so don't worry. Even if you don't prepare early, that's fine. So but try to do a systematic preparation of interview. Now again, I have told you like 100 times, 1000 times in this course, do not show off, do not come across as nerd, do not tell dates, data, all this, nobody cares. So one of the most common mistakes people make is to show off that they are nerds and bookworms, they know everything under the sun. Nobody is going to get impressed by that. If you have to do it in the mains exam. Okay, no one likes a bookworm who is aloof to the social realities. And from day one of your preparation, try to inculcate various interests, and it will help you in enjoying the UPSC journey and also carve out a nice personality out of you. Even if you don't get selected, at least your personality will improve. And take as many genuine mock interviews as possible. I've told you again and again. And note the feedback on your body language given by them, personality, dressing sense, answering style. Try to eliminate as many variables as possible. Take their criticism with a very open mind, but at the same time, never let your self-confidence or positivity go down. Prepare well the social, political, and economic issues of last 1 year. At least the same day newspaper and last 1 week newspaper should be covered. And practice answering in a questions in front of a mirror. And try giving a balanced opinion or answer. You must read the newspaper of the interview day. And one of the very good practices to form a group of 4 to 5 serious candidates who all of them are giving interview. And we did make it. And out of 4, 3 of us get selected in the same attempt, and 1 got selected later on. So take the mock interviews of one another, grill just like actual interview, and take and give honest feedbacks, work upon them. Thank you. Hey guys, what's up? So we are discussing how to crack civil service interview, and by now I have given you tips till the doomsday, but now let us see what actually happens on the doomsday. That is the day of your interview. It is usually in the morning or the afternoon shift. So let us discuss the doomsday. Okay. So the quote "first impression is the last impression" does not hold entirely true in the case of UPSC interview, but it has a significant weightage. Okay, you can change it as the time passes by, but try to dress up appropriately. And in Delhi it is very hot, so even if you don't wear a blazer, that's fine. So don't worry about small details, that is not needed. But first impression does play a pivotal role in the way board member perceive you, so don't go in like random stuff also. And they will continue to perceive during the interview. Every human being is biased on this planet earth. I'm yet to meet any human who is not biased at all. Okay, everybody is biased, everybody has their preconceived notion. If you have cut on your face, people think that you are a gunda. And even if that you are the most kind hearted person on this planet, if you look a certain way, people think you are not serious. If you look certain way, people think you are cute and innocent. Basically everybody is biased, and there is no way in hell you can remove it because of evolutionary reasons. So that is why people dress up, that is why they try to give first impression good, because apparently if you dress properly and you put tie and shirt, then you are a very smart person, you are a serious candidate. And if you go in t-shirt, then you are not good for administrating the country. That is the logic. Anyway, so interview attire is very very important. So because you are giving it to human beings and we have to live in a human society, so let us understand this, because it will reflect the overall personality of the person. People judge karte hain his or her thinking approach in life. Absolutely wrong, nothing is given from your clothes. But anyway, dignified attire creates good first impression in the mind of interviewers. Basically you are a salesman there. In one line, if I have to tell you, you are a salesman and you have to sell yourself, and you have to just create an illusion or impression or whatever you want to call it, that you are worthy of becoming an IAS officer. Technically you are selling yourself, you are just a salesman there. Just like salesmen come to your house and sell different products, you are selling yourself. Packaging should be nice and appealing to the eye of interviewer. It's as simple as that, very putting it bluntly and honestly. So while choosing a dress, you should take into your account age, position for which you are appearing, season of the interview. Season is always hot. It is always in Delhi, it is always hot. Choice of dress should be according to weather conditions. So newly stitched clothes, don't wear them. Should be sober, not shiny. So men tend to prefer white, light colored clothes. So white, cream, blue shirt, and a dark trouser with a tie, if weather permits. Women appear like usually they wear sari, salwar kameez. Western casuals also they can wear. And people say, apparently I don't know, but people say they should avoid jewelry, keep makeup light, carry a small purse if necessary. Otherwise the paraphernalia are not needed. I do not know, sir and ma'am, I am not an authority on this. Your attire, but this is sure, it should not be too tight that you cannot sit comfortably, and it should not be too loose to be oversized. Now pay attention to minute details, like at least iron the dress, that I will agree. Polish your shoes, don't look as if you are a college student. Hair accessories, trimmed nails. Use convenient footwear like black or brown leather shoes. And do not use strong perfumes, deos as soon as you enter in the room, like everybody has to bear your smell. Don't do that, just keep it very light so that it is not very noticeable from across the table. And try to eat something light before the interview, and try to sleep well before the night. And do not take sleeping pills for relaxing in the previous night, it can have effect on the interview, because you need an alert mind. Remember the first condition UPSC told you, mental alertness. And also do not go on empty stomach, otherwise you will not be able to perform well. Now once you enter the interview hall, try to arrive at interview location at least 15 to 20 minutes earlier. People usually arrive 2 days earlier also, that's a different issue, but at least 15 to 20 minutes earlier. And if you are coming from outside Delhi, like in my case I was in Delhi only, so that's not an issue. But if you are coming from outside Delhi, then definitely you should arrive 1 or 2 days before. And before leaving for the Dholpur house, it is very close to Khan Market and India Gate, just to give a knowledge. So ensure that you have all the essential items like interview call letter, educational certificates, photocopies, passport size photos. Basically whatever they want, you should have it. In my case, they wanted to know that whether I have completed the internship or not. If I did not have that certificate with me, I was ineligible to the interview. Now go through the pre-interview activities like taking signatures, verification of certificates, so on. They take some time, and then the random aspirants start to talk which board is giving how many marks. Then while waiting for your turn in the waiting area, there is a huge waiting area. So I also sat with many of the future IAS officers, by the way. I was surprised. So in my group, like many of them became IAS officers in the later years. So try to read a newspaper, try to look busy, okay? And try not to think too much of what will happen in the interview, because otherwise you'll get anxious. and try not to presuppose situation. Try relaxing with closed eyes and practice deep breathing. Basically, you are not told you're bored until the very last moment. And if the waiting period is too long, which is generally the case, in my case it was more than 1.5 hours, so try not to be impatient. uh, like find ways to overcome the boring anxiety producing phenomena. Just read the Hindu, that is the best. Okay, always do that. Now try to avoid taking interest in the interview of candidate before you and the questions asked by the board, because interview questions depend on your background, and you should not try to form a last minute strategy. Whatever you have worked till now, that will work in your favor. So like body language, like they will keep you outside waiting for the door, and then somebody will signal that go inside the door. So knock at the door before entering. It indicates basic courtesy, that I'll agree. On entering the room, just say good morning, good evening. If there is a lady member, wish them first. And whatever is the time, if it's the morning, then say good morning, good evening, whatever you want to say. Try not to sit before they ask you to sit. Usually they are nice people and they will ask you to sit. But if they get busy in your deaf, then don't sit unless they ask you to sit. Now be conscious of your body language when you're seated. Okay. So like avoid locking hands at least. Okay. So like these are some things which you want to see, like whatever you want to call. This is written in some books, but I really don't know if it actually helps. But like playing with one hair, touching or rubbing chin or nose, biting nails, this is all like very very bad. Okay, this gives impression of nervousness. You should definitely not do this. Avoid this at all cost. Then interview process will start by like they read your biodata, is this you, only confirm, stuff like that. And the first question was asked from me is, you're a doctor, why do you want to become IAS? And then I said something, then they said don't give cliched answer, and we know why you are here. So they had judged me before even I opened my mouth. And so basically something bad can happen, but try to keep your calm. So instead of 154, they could have given me 104 also, but I tried to keep calm. And during the period when the biodata is being read, listen to it carefully, nod your head in yes if it is being read correctly. Interviewer can ask you questions like place of your residence, how did you came to Dholpur house, similar such questions before going through your biodata in order to establish better rapport. In next stage, your real interview will start, and they will try to assess every aspect of your personality. So it is more important that what is your personality, how you say it, everything becomes important. Try to be good listener, be attentive, listen to each question carefully, and do not jump into answering before they are finished. And if you don't understand anything, ask for a clarification. So when you're listening, don't look bored. Try to look lively, at least that you give a crap about what they're saying, but in reality you don't. You just want more marks. And also do not try to answer, take a 1 or 2 second pause. Okay, it looks very intellectual and it is in fashion, so try to pause a while before answering, even if you know the answer, and then bolt them away. It is all mind games, it is all sales pitch going on. And instead of giving wrong answer to a question, try to get clarification. If you don't know the answer, say don't know the answer. If you know answer a bit, say I would like to guess. Don't guess without asking the permission. Treat the interview as a discussion forum, not an argument forum. Don't go for argument. It's just a half an hour process maximum. Okay, like put your ego in dustbin, and do not agree. If you do not agree, just say you express your reservation politely. Don't make an argument. Never try to prove interviewers wrong, otherwise they will destroy your case. If you do not know the answer, politely admit it. If you want to guess it, you can ask for interviewer's permission if you want to guess. If you commit any mistake, you should admit it and offer an apology. Okay, don't be adamant even after a mistake has been noticed, because it will be a blunder. Like, do not bring your ego into the interview process. Be polite, display etiquette and manners, which is required of a formal interview. Okay, do not lose temper, do not become hyperactive, and if board members offers you tea, water, refreshment, just take it. Okay, don't refuse it. Nobody likes to get refused. Give short, crisp, to the point replies. Don't beat around the bush. If you don't know anything, just say you don't know anything. Try to smile gently. Don't laugh hysterically, and don't be sad or depressed. So okay, because laughing will not be appreciated, but smiling will make both of you comfortable. Do not overdo. And if you are confident about yourself, even you can try to use sense of humor, but I will not suggest it that much. Finally, no matter how bad you think your interview has gone, try to make a good last impression. Try to give a gentle smile on your face. They might give you 5-10 marks extra, and thank the board members before exiting the room. Thank you. Hey guys, what's up? So, till now you have understood everything which you need to understand about giving the civil service exam interview. Try to use your common sense. I know it is very uncommon, but try to use your common sense and don't do anything to them. Just assume that you are in their position. So, you would like your ego to be stroked, right? You would not like somebody destroying your ego. So, just remember you have to stroke their ego and you have to sell yourself saying that you are the best candidate possible for the IAS. So now in this lesson we will talk about some do's and don'ts. It will be discussed in two parts. So then like this 6 lesson course, it should be more than sufficient to crack this UPSC civil service exam interview anyway. So the first don't is do not carry your cell phone inside the interview room. Okay. I would like suggest strongly that you should have someone waiting outside UPSC. Keep your phone over there. But let's say you are coming from Andaman and Nicobar or some other place, and you have to keep it with you. So just switch off it. If it has a battery, remove it. Keep a battery in separate pocket if possible. Make sure it does not ring any alarm, any notification, any game jingle, any Facebook, anything. Please make sure it does not ring at any cost. Keep it off if you cannot keep it outside. Even in switch off, sometimes alarm rings. Make sure you cancel all your alarms. Okay. If it rings in between, like trust me, your marks are gone. At least minus 20 marks. So ringing of a cell phone in the middle of the interview, it will distract the attention of everyone, and it will be considered as offensive by those old people. If it is a young board who 20-25-year-old, they don't care, but these people, they think that it is against the sacrosanct nature of the interview, so you cannot afford to annoy them at any cost. So this is the first point. Okay, don't carry your phone inside, and if you want to carry it inside, make sure it is in switch off and it's like completely dismantled. If it is an iPhone, just switch off, cancel all the alarms. Before switching off, cancel the alarms because it rings when the phone is switched off. You should avoid being nervous during the interview process. Okay, what is nervousness? Nervousness means that you look worried, you're looking sad, you're looking anxious, you're looking depressed. So that can be faked. Just put gentle smile for half an hour, just fake it. Okay, nervous means you're becoming fidgety, you're biting your nail, you're touching your nose, you're touching your cheeks, you're touching your hair. Avoid being fidgety. Just make sure both your hands are on your thighs. Okay, that is like the best posture available. They will not be able to see your hand because the table is huge. And if you have to say something articulating your hand, then you can just wave them. So make a habit of doing some exercise, yoga, meditation in your daily routine. It will help you to overcome nervousness in the interview because everybody is nervous, not only you. Everybody who is sitting there is nervous, so don't worry. Now, always highlight your USP. USP basically means since you are a salesman, it is unique selling point. So highlight your USP. It is a very positive asset, but don't overdo it because if you overdo it, it will raise the expectations of the interviewers from you. Interviewers will think that he knows everything, so let us ask tough questions, or if you are not able to answer then you are gone. So that will be evaluated against you overall. So don't raise that expectation that much, and if you have those qualities, don't brag about them, don't show off. Let the interviewers find out on their own, and let your qualities speak out on their own. Don't like rub them in the face of the interviewers. Now this is the important point. Okay, never lie in interview. Okay, if you have not organized a camp for the blind people, then don't write there. If you have not donated blood, then don't write that you have donated blood. Do not tell a lie at any stage of the interview. So the thing is, like I was interviewing with the CBI director X, so you know, like he talks to criminals every day. If I have to lie there, then he will definitely catch it. So interviewers are highly experienced persons. They have their ways to figure out that you are lying, and eventually these people are old. They are 55, 60. They have talked to tens and thousands of people. Usually they are IAS officer, IPS officers, so they know if you are lying or not. If it happens, then it will be like you are a gone case. They will give you 90 marks, and it will be very detrimental for your interview, not only just for your interview score, but for your UPSC ambitions too. Because if they, instead of 190, they give you 90, or instead of 225, they give you 125, then it will be a strict, very, very strict thing to be done to your future. So just don't lie, okay? Don't lie. It is not a good policy, because if they probe and you're not able to defend it, then you're gone. Now avoid nagging, complaining, bickering, criticizing, complaining that India का तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. Even if I become civil servant, nothing can happen. This is a corrupt country. Politicians are corrupt. Bureaucrats are corrupt. Media is corrupt. Judiciary is corrupt. Executive is corrupt. Everybody is corrupt. How can I do anything except take part in corruption? So don't have that defeatist attitude. You have to be very optimist. If TN session was like you, election commission would not be that great. Okay, so basically, if Vinod Rai was like you, the Comptroller Auditor General post would not have been that great as it is in the news these days. So you should try to avoid nagging in general. Avoid any adverse comment on the facilities provided or about the mode of the communication to the UPSC. During any point in the interview process, don't say ki these people are only paying me 150 rupees to come here, and who does that? They are not even reimbursing my flights. So no one likes a person who complains a lot, who criticizes a lot, who cribs a lot, who complains, criticize, condemn. Don't do that thing, okay? Nobody likes it. It will bring the morale down of the entire room. So don't find problems in trivial things, and don't nag about it at any cost. Now, if you are already in job, whether it can be government or private, or selected in allied service or so-called inferior service for you, because if it is not, then you should not be giving the exam again, right? But everybody knows 95% people want to become IAS, 5% people want to become IPS, IFS or IRS. That is the reality. You can check all the detailed application form. Let's be honest with each other at least, okay? But do not criticize the service. Do not criticize your present employer or organization, okay? Similarly, you should not criticize your academic institution. बोला यार बेकार कॉलेज है, 2 कौड़ी का, कुछ पढ़ाते नहीं थे. Don't say stuff like that, okay? Nobody likes that you criticize your own academic institutions, or don't criticize your director. बेकार था, कुछ नहीं करता था, पैसे खाता था. Don't say that, okay? Try to portray these things in a very positive light, in a positive way, because apparently that's what people like these days. Nobody wants to hear the reality. Everybody wants to live in their own little bubble that aims everything is perfect there. They are the best. Everything is best. Research is best. Patient care is best. Everything is best. Then finally, do not show any type of fidgetiness or impatience, even if your interview is not proceeding the way you expect, and try to manipulate them, try to maneuver it according to your expectations. And if you cannot do, just keep the patience, because they will check whether you are mindful or not. They will check your patience sometimes during unfavorable and tough times. So take it in the right spirit, okay? Don't get bogged down, and take it on the chin, just like a champion will do. So thank you for watching this lesson. Have an awesome day.